Just because you're autistic does not mean you understand or represent everyone else's experience with autism.
I want you to keep in mind the statement that this person just made. Just keep it right in the back of your mind. Just keep it right in the back. Because this person is such a fucking hypocrite and such a fucking condescending person that I'm actually surprised anyone takes her seriously. Not only by the fact that she has a double standard so fucking high, but also by the fact that she has the cheek and the nerve in the cheek to turn around and lecture us about how we should live our lives, while simultaneously telling you if you don't live your lives to the way she lives her life, then you're a bad person, you're a bad person, and that you all want the master race and all this garbage. Obviously, she's a leftist. Well, you could fucking tell. But her name is Candy.courn, aka Courtney. She is a somewhat famous influencer slash graphic designer who got famous through her art and through her TikTok videos. That of being showing her autistic side and basically explaining autism. Well, I say doing a very piss poor job, because I think a chimp with a fucking chalkboard could explain autism better than she does. And I should give forewarning, I myself am autistic, and people like her the left, who scream my patriarchy and my problematic and my all this crap, they really don't sit well with me. They make me wanna, I don't know, if you were to say to me, what would you rather do? Would you rather go into 1930s Germany as an autistic man, or spend 5 minutes in a room with her, talking to her? I would be in the fucking time machine before you even finish that statement, because this person is so annoying, so leftist, and so, I just don't know. Really, really struggle not to swear. Just really struggle not to ad hominem to this cunt. Anyway. Oh, and I should state this for fucking reasons. First of all, this doesn't give you an excuse to go and witch hunt this person, even though I dislike her with an extreme passion. That doesn't give you the right to go and witch hunt her or abuse her. I know she will probably not do the same courtesy as I am to her by saying this, because she will probably tell all of her followers to mass dox me, claiming that I'm a bad person, even though she rips the piss out of autism. But second of all, rather more for my benefit, is that this video is under fair use, as I have altered all of these videos, and I'm not using them for economic gain or any of that, because this was free of charge, and I'm not making any money off this video, and I'm not re-uploading it to make money. It's not a re-upload, it's me giving valid criticism. So before you even try to copyright strike me, just know that a judge will laugh in your face, saying, what the hell is this all about? Anyway.
An open letter to white autistic and neurodivergent content creators. Why do you talk about disability justice but won't touch racial justice with a 10-foot pole? Why are you silent on issues like genocide, colonialism, and apartheid that overwhelmingly affect autistic and disabled folks of color? Why do you not mention in your explainer videos that racism affects every aspect of the autism experience too?
Maybe because ableism and racism have nothing to do with each other. The only thing that they have in each other is the ism at the end. Ableism is basically discriminate against folk who have physical or mental disabilities, while there's racism's only about a person's race. How's that the same? See, saying that can actually be perceived as a racial comment, because that's basically like saying different races are disabled. That's basically what you're saying.
Why are you silent on issues like genocide, colonialism, and apartheid that overwhelmingly affect autistic and disabled folks of color? Why do you not mention in your explainer videos that racism affects every aspect of the autism experience too? From how the world perceives autistic traits and POC as racist character faults, even violent-worthy reasons for harassment and police brutality, to how medical racism makes healthcare access to diagnosis and beyond at times impossible, to how racism just compounds experiences with disability, like difficulty getting resources, a job, accommodations, or even just human decency from others for existing. Why do, even when you know all of this, do you expect autistics of color to do all the work for you of educating white folks because you don't experience it firsthand? For a community who preaches the strengths of neurodiversity, where is the diversity?
I want you to keep in mind the statement that this person just made. Just keep it right in the back of your mind. Just keep it right in the back. Because this person is such a fucking hypocrite and such a fucking condescending person that I'm actually surprised anyone takes her seriously. Not only by the fact that she has a double standard so fucking high, but also by the fact that she has the cheek and the nerve in the cheek to turn around and lecture us about how we should live our lives, while simultaneously telling you if you don't live your lives to the way she lives her life, then you're a bad person, you're a bad person, and that you all want the master race and all this garbage. Obviously, she's a leftist. Well, you could fucking tell. But her name is Candy.courn, aka Courtney. She is a somewhat famous influencer / graphic designer who got famous through her art and through her TikTok videos. That of being showing her autistic side and basically explaining autism. Well, I say doing a very piss poor job, because I think a chimp with a fucking chalkboard could explain autism better than she does. And I should give forewarning, I myself am autistic, and people like her the left, who scream my patriarchy and my problematic and my all this crap, they really don't sit well with me. They make me wanna, I don't know, if you were to say to me, what would you rather do? Would you rather go into 1930s Germany as an autistic man, or spend 5 minutes in a room with her, talking to her? I would be in the fucking time machine before you even finish that statement, because this person is so annoying, so leftist, and so, I just don't know. Really struggle not to swear. Just really struggle not to ad hominem to this cunt. Anyway. Oh, and I should state this for shits, and I should state this for fucking reasons. First of all, this doesn't give you an excuse to go and witch hunt this person, even though I dislike her with an extreme passion. That doesn't give you the right to go and witch hunt her or abuse her. I know she will probably not do the same courtesy as I am to her by saying this, because she will probably tell all of her followers to mass dox me, claiming that I'm a bad person, even though she rips the piss out of autism. But second of all, rather more for my benefit, is that this video is under fair use, as I have altered all of these videos, and I'm not using them for economic gain or any of that, because this was free of charge, and I'm not making any money off this video, and I'm not re-uploading it to make money. It's not a re-upload, it's me giving valid criticism. So before you even try to copyright strike me, just know that a judge will laugh in your face, saying, what the hell is this all about? Anyway. And again, you're making outlandish claims such as folk can't get access to hospitals and get brutalised and all this, especially from a minority background. Well, let me ask this. Where's your proof? You make these outlandish claims, and yet I see no journals, and yet I see no proof. No, you know why? Because it isn't happening, or it's such a niche thing. It's such a minute thing that it's such a wee tiny thing. That it doesn't happen. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it does happen, but I don't know if it happens or no, because you're making these statements and yet you're showing no evidence whatsoever to prove your statements. Also, you're just making the same arguments that the leftists make, but adding autism to the end, like police brutality, but through a black autism, or a folk can't access healthcare. Oh, but there have to be black autistic. It's like it's such a one-sided thing. It's such a one perspective argument that it boggles the mind. You're generalising. I can actually turn around and say that you're racist because you're generalising every autistic black person as unable to or unwilling to. Well, unable to. Hypocrisy much? Oh, there we go. There's the word. You know, that word. The word has ruined so many things. Where's the diversity? Well, neurodiversity doesn't mean diversity of colour. It means diversity of, I don't know, what's it called? Oh, I know. Neurological problems, well, neurological conditions such as autism, ADHD, OCD, PTSD, and everything like that. It has nothing to do with a race. Stop bringing diversity and everything. Also, autism isn't a race-baiting issue. It's an individualistic issue. Yes, people who are black or different race than white people may experience it from a... Well, no. Let's not even get suckered into that. Because it's not about race or gender or anything like that. It's about individualism, okay? I know you leftists hate individual, but it's an individual experience for different people. Different people have different needs, and that's why autism is a spectrum. It has nothing to do with race. The only people that bring race into this shit is the same people who bring race into every fucking shit. All you leftists. Because you have nothing better to do apart from play the race card all the bloody time, which is why people are getting pissed off. And it's also people like you that make neurotypical people pissed off within the autistic community by the fact that even though you are a minority of people who are whining and bitching and moaning and groaning about all this lack of diversity and all this liberal crap, is used as a screaming the loudest. So you're painting a bad picture of autism by the fact that you are arseholes. By the fact that you won't shut the fuck up about my diversity and my DEIs and my all this crap.
Hey, with all this talk about eugenics and disability, just a kind reminder that choosing not to wear a mask when you can, when COVID and other diseases are killing disabled and healthy people every day. Oh my god, I can't believe the big ugly bill passed. It's horrible for all of us, but especially for disabled folks who are being targeted with these ableist work restrictions for healthcare. Yep. I just wish there was something I could do for you all, like improve public safety for disabled folks every day, you know? Oh, no thank you. Anyways.
There we go. Talking about COVID 2025, saying you have to wear a mask or you're killing everybody because you're coughing. First of all, where's your proof? Okay, I will keep stating this till my lips bleed and my tongue falls out. Where's your proof? You're saying that wearing a mask kills people, but yet you cite no fucking medical evidence whatsoever. Second of all, talking about COVID 2025, no, there isn't a pandemic going on because the pandemic ended. Just because because you don't trust the government says, oh, the government isn't fucking bending over and constantly telling you, get another jab, guys, get another jab. No. It's not my problem that you're so fearful of a disease that, well, that kills, that doesn't even kill people. It's like a cult, but it came from China, allegedly. If you're so paranoid about wearing a mask, then why don't you wear a mask? Why do you have to lecture people about having to wear a mask for themselves? Why do you have to lecture people and make fearmonger about COVID when it's 2025 and most people just gave up in COVID?
There's no celebrating Disability Pride Month without acknowledging how freeing Palestine is directly connected to disability justice. I've been sharing Omar's family on their urgent fund.
Of course, she's a leftist, so she has to be complaining about Palestine. There was 3 videos, but I'm not putting all 3 of them in because, well, the same fucking messaging. First of all, how does the Palestine war affect your disability. It doesn't. And of course, you have to turn around and say, well, I've been supporting Omar. Whoop-de-do for you, hen. Whoop-de-fucking-do. You've supported one person. Supported one person. You can. I don't know how many Palestinians there are, but you've supported one person out of all of them. Whoop-de-do. Also, you do realise that Hamas hates disabled folk. They also hate women and LGBT folk. Just throwing that out there. Also, the Palestine-Israeli conflict is nothing more than a shit-flinging contest, considering both sides have done atrocious things. There is no good side. They are both an evil entity. Problem is who's the lesser evil? Well, we don't fucking know, because you're not exactly helping.
Some reminders as Autism Month comes to an end. Autism is not a superpower, it's a disability. Self-diagnosis will always be valid in a world where healthcare, financial, and racial inequities are rampant.
Healthcare, racial, and inequities are rampant, right? Where's your proof? And what racial inequities and equalities? What like? You say these things and yet you have no fucking proof. Where are you pulling this crap? I mean, you're pulling it off your arse, obviously, because you you make inflammatory statements and you have literal no fucking proof. Where's your proof? Where's your journals? I mean, I know journals cost a lot of money, but even I would take a fucking newspaper clipping, or it's fucking a magazine, any evidence. You don't cite your evidence, you don't cite any bloody evidence. So you're making it so your statement is complete horse shit.
Reasons why self-diagnosed autism will always be valid.
No, it won't.
Doctor bias and racism. Getting evaluated can still result in misdiagnosis or dismissal if you don't meet the expected white male autistic mold. Self-diagnosis is usually informed. It does not happen overnight and almost always reflects months, if not years, of extensive research. There are no benefits for allistics. It's not a cool or trendy thing to be disabled, and there are nearly zero benefits for an allistic person to pretend to be autistic. Professionals agree. Many medical experts agree that self-diagnosis is valid too and often a part of the formal diagnosis process. And a few reminders. Self-diagnosis does not take away anything from formally diagnosed folks, and invalidating self-diagnosis disproportionately impacts Black and brown folks.
Well, there's three bullshit points I noticed there. Doctor and racism. First of all, fits the white male model, whatever. Where has this been invented? Where is the secret model you're talking about? Because I have never seen it. I have never fucking seen it. Yet again, it is another fact that she pulled out of her arsehole. She pulled it out of her ass. Because she's talking shit. I'm not making fun of it, but there isn't a secret only white male autistic there isn't a secret white only male only autistic only club. So what the fuck does she mean by this autistic white male mod? I don't know. I genuinely don't fucking know. It's just liberal. It's just another pot shot at white men, because of course, white men bad. But she has no fucking. I'm confused. Second of all, there is no benefits for elicitation. People saying that people fake diagnosing themselves as autistic. No, there is no benefit. But it's not for a benefit, because liberals do all this all the time. See, people fake diagnoses for a number of reasons. First of all, leftists stay it so they can circle jerk each other and say, oh my god, I'm autistic. Fucking sit and clap like a bunch of seals. Secondly, they do it so they can have a shield, so if they come under criticism, they can whip out the old, oh well, I'm autistic, and makes it basically brandize the criticism as a ableist. Also, leftists collect labels so that they can play in the good old fashioned oppressed Olympics. See how oppressed you are by collecting all these labels such as ADHD, autism, because that's what leftists do. They collect these labels like fucking Pokemon. Like, how oppressed are you? Like, I'm a black, transsexual, non-binary, gay, bisexual, polyamorous, fucking autistic, ADHD, queer, not all these other bloody words. Uh, no, it's not for economical gain, but it's for social clout and hangway. Also, another reason why they're doing this is social media, TikTok, because TikTok has rotted the brain of many people, such as yourself. I don't watch TikTok because I don't like it. As a few people started a trend of faking a medical illness, and then a bunch of other people jumped on the bandwagon to the point where you can go on TikTok and find about 10 folk faking having autism or ADHD or Tourette's or some other mental disorder. They're not doing it for economical gain, but they're doing it for likes, because these people have literally nothing in their life if they have the spare time to go on TikTok and fake a diagnosis or fake a illness. They only do it for that sweet like from they only do it for a like from some person who's halfway around the world, because their brains are so dopamine deprived that like, oh, they need that like, oh, another like, ooh, another like, ooh, another like. And again, third point and final point, professionals. What professionals? You don't say any professionals. What professionals are you talking about? Because, what professionals are you talking about? Because I can't find any professionals. If you're going to say professionals agree, at least cite, I don't know, 2 or 3 professionals instead of just saying the professionals. Like, what professionals? What professionals say that self-diagnosis? Because I would beg to differ, and I would probably think that professionals would turn around and say, I think you should go and speak to a specialist about this. I don't think they would tell their patients, oh, go on Google and find out these things about autism. If they fit your description, then you can self-diagnose as autistic and join the autistic community, where that's a bunch of autistic people. I don't know.
Do you think self-diagnosing takes away from the diagnosed autistic community? No. Self-diagnosing will always be valid in a world where healthcare isn't universal and medical bias is real. And when the process costs thousands of dollars, yes, getting a formal diagnosis is absolutely a privilege. As someone who's been gaslit by medical providers for years, distrust with the healthcare system is
Universal healthcare system isn't real, and medical bias is. Okay, what the fuck is medical bias? What is medical bias? Is it because is that the same bias that say that black people have a lower chance of getting skin cancer? Because if that's medical bias, then no, it's not medical bias. It's genetic bias, which is science, which I'm surprised that you're even saying or suggesting, because you're the same type of person to say, trust the science. No, medical bias isn't real. Medical factual evidence is real, but because they don't like the idea of evidence or truth, even though it hurts their feelings, they have to turn and say it's a bias. Second of all, autism diagnosis is a privilege. No, it's not a privilege. I'm not going to turn and say it's necessity, because it depends on the situation. It's not a privilege, it's a luxury. I was lucky enough to actually get a formal diagnosis because the National Health Service, as Britain is well famous for, is so shit that they had to shut. It's so skint and so shit, thanks to Daddy Starmer, that I had to wait. I was sent a letter told to wait 18 to 24 months. I waited 24 months just to receive a letter 22 months after the 2-year time wait was up, just to be told, oh, we're having to shut down all autistic services. Oh, but here's some autistic charities you can go to, but be warned, you can't actually access them because you're not autistic. or you have no diagnosis of autism, but you can talk to them all you want to your heart's content, but they'll tell you, well, you don't need a formal diagnosis, but if you want actual help for autism, you need a diagnosis. So yeah, sorry. Because they're dicks. And hatred of the healthcare system. It's no one's fault that the healthcare system is crap. So stop blaming it. It's not the whole system, it's dependent on the doctor.
But what about people faking autism for attention? Okay, even putting aside that the amount of people falsely self-diagnosing autism is so wildly small and blown out of proportion by non-autistic people, like, what's the end game? What's the reward? Being made fun of? Being ostracized? Because I have never been met with a good response when I told someone I'm autistic for the first time. The only thing someone has to gain by self-diagnosing is finding a community of like-minded outcasts to bond with. A non-autistic person has just about nothing to gain socially, financially, physically by claiming to be autistic, so quite honestly, I don't care. And these types of falsely placed narratives do way more harm than good. We have whole armies of keyboard warriors out here straight up harassing self-diagnosed autistic people on the internet, who are, in my opinion, almost always very clearly autistic. So no, autism is not a pie. There's plenty to go around, and someone else self-diagnosing literally takes nothing away from the autistic community. But interrogating every self-diagnosed autistic person sure does.
First of all, it's not blown out of proportion by non-autistic, because there's plenty of autistic people, such as myself, who are pissed off of people faking autism. Second of all, the reward is trying to get a social clause, so that if someone's an arsehole, they can hide it under the guise of autism. So if someone criticises someone for being an arsehole, they can use that to basically say they're ableist. Second of all, also, glass houses, hen. I don't know if you've ever heard of this expression, but don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. You do realise that you are also a keyboard, considering the fact that you sent an army of people such as yourself, liberals, to harass and deplatform someone who made fun of you for your hair, considering your hair looks like a used tampon, and considering you live in a fucking Barbie dollhouse. And third of all, also clearly autistic. And how do you know that? You're no medical doctor. You didn't go to, you didn't study with. Oh, how can you claim to know autism when you're sitting saying in your first fucking statement that just because you're autistic doesn't mean you know autism? Like, this is what I mean by hypocrisy. You claim that just because you're autistic doesn't mean you know everything about autism, and yet here you are stating that self-diagnosed people are valid, and also if you criticise these self-diagnosed people, you're bad. You're bad. Still a keyboard warrior, even though she is herself.
Fireworks suck because they scare dogs. Fireworks suck because they scare autistic and neurodivergent people too. Fireworks suck because they're bad for the environment and can cause fires. Fireworks suck for all of those reasons, and most of all, because 4th of July is a racist holiday that only celebrates the freedom of a select few.
You are like a child throwing away your toys. You can't celebrate the 4th of July because it's racist, because it's this and this, because it's thisist and this phobic and everything else under the bloody sun. It's like, Jesus Christ, hen. If you don't like fireworks, put on a pair of headphones. If you're autistic, you own headphones. I mean, we've clearly seen you have headphones, considering we've seen you wear fucking headphones. If you don't like fireworks, put on some fucking headphones. And yes, I know what you're going to say. You stole this bit from someone. Yes, I did. I took this suggestion from Think Before You Sleep. Yeah, do what he says. Fucking wear headphones. Knob. And I've probably saved the best clip for last, so I have to give a warning to this. A cringe warning. I don't like saying that word. But I am going to show you something, and once you watch it, you are going to cringe so hard. Oh my god, your face is going to end up like you're doing a hard shit. Brace yourself. 3, 2, 1.
Microaggressions I hear as an autistic Asian person. Can Asians be autistic?